All right. So I got in, I got a, I got a Monchichi. So I was in a Miniso, like looking around for stuff, and I had like the coupons, and I had my my coupon for being the VIP member or whatever. So this one was like 15, but then I got like 20% off that, so it was a little bit cheaper. It's not too bad. They surprisingly have like blind boxes of Monchichi now, but if you know Monchichi, like trying to get a blind box that's a vinyl figure, it's not the same as having like an actual like figure like this. Because this is what I think of when I think of the Monchichi. The other ones were just like hard, they were just like hard plastic, and I wasn't for that. Uh, so being able to see this, I was pretty excited to see this. But however, it's not. This isn't for me though. This is for a gift for somebody. And and so yeah, just to kind of go with it, I was just gonna open just the protector right here, just to take a quick look at it, and just talk about this little guy right here, because one of the funny things about them is like, they're like super like fluffy and like kind of furry or whatever, and then they could do like the whole, like, you're supposed to be able to like, maybe after using it a little bit it'll loosen because the arm's kind of stiff, but yeah, they're supposed to be able to suck their own thumb. And so Monchichis, they're pretty old. Like oh yeah, this one's kind of disproportionate. Like the brand itself and everything, it's from 1974. And like the funny story with that is one of my aunts. She would always say Monchichi. Like she would always like say stuff like say, talk about this, and we had no idea what the heck she was talking about the whole freaking time, right? And she just kept saying like Monchichi, like this little thing and that little thing, and she would explain us to it like what this little toy is or whatever, right? And so one day we go over to my aunt's house, and she pulls out like a box, like a pretty big box, like the height of this, maybe the same height, but like a much bigger like figure, similar like style and everything to this one, just big, just much bigger. And she pulls out this box, and she's like, "Oh, look, I gotta show you something." And we were like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Oh, like my Monchichi," and we still had no idea what the heck she was talking about. We thought she was making stuff up, because because this is at a time when not that many people had internet. And sure enough, like she shows me, and I'm like, "Oh, this thing, like one of these, but bigger." And it was a little different. It had like a red bandana looking thing, from what I remember, and it was still like in the cardboard box. They didn't have like a plastic on top. It was just like those open boxes. Um, and it had the mochichi in there, and like she was keeping it like put it away somewhere. And she showed it to us, and then I just couldn't hold myself. I just started busting up laughing. I was like, dude, I thought you made this up this whole time. I thought you were messing with us about this, like this thing you claim you have, whatever, right? you know and sure enough, she was like, "Oh no, I freaking like love my monchichis. Like I love how they look. They're just so cute and adorable." And then they could suck their own thumb. Like that was like the cool thing about them, right? And it came out in the 70s, you know and so this whole time, like, we were all like shocked and everything. And I always thought like it was pretty cute and pretty cool. I did not know. I mean, reading the name now, and like if you understand like a little bit of like the Japanese, the characters like uh oh man, hiragana and katakana, right? If you know like the characters and stuff, and like the sounds and different stuff like that, and like the romanicized Japanese, you can instantly pick up that this is Japanese. Because I didn't know this was a Japanese company, and until like I think later on, like when I was like in high school, I was talking with my aunt, and I was like, "Hey, you remember that day you pulled out that that little doll, that little monkey?" She's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "I freaking love that thing." She's like, "I love it." I was like, "I didn't know that it's a Japanese brand, and the creator and everything, like they still make them." And she's like, "Oh, they do?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is me back in high school, back in like what, 2010 or so." And so yeah, like at the time here in America, Monchichi was kind of like non-existent, like not very popular. But now, I mean, 2025, 15 years later, I can go into Miniso and find them. Sure, there wasn't that many of these, and I have seen like the skateboard little blind box, but I thought it was kind of lame because it's a vinyl figure. And like when I think of, like I said, when I think of Monchichi, I think of this, like the actual, fluffy furry little dude like wearing some clothing. And I've seen some of like the old ones, like from the 80s, 70s and 80s. And those ones are pretty, like there's some pretty freaking cool looking ones. And of course much bigger, much bigger. Um, sizes and keychains and like shirts and like I saw magnets. I really like the magnets. There was like fridge magnets with just like the little face. I thought that was kind of cute and kind of funny. And so yeah, and so like, I was telling my aunt, and I was like, they still make stuff, right? I'm like, that company's still around. They still make stuff. It's just we don't really see it here because it's not really popular here. And then of course, like I know now some people like make similarities with these and like Labubus, but I'm sorry, I can't get behind Labubus because I think they're kind of ugly. And I don't know, I still think they're ugly. But I really like the Monchichi. I always thought it was cute and adorable and kind of funny. And like, my aunt telling us about this thing that she had, and all of us, making fun of her because we thought she was making stuff up. Because this is, mind you, this is before the internet, when all this stuff was happening. So it was just like the funniest thing for like the longest time. And so whenever I see it like a Monchichi, like I think of like my aunt and that whole scenario that her telling me, when I was a kid and about this toy that she had, and nobody believing her. It was so freaking funny. Um, and whatever, right? But yeah, so I thought that's pretty cool. And of course, I'm gonna give this to my aunt later whenever I see her again. And so I just wanted to do like a quick little. I mean, there's not much to it. Just a little keychain with the little guy, and then of course this to protect it because yeah, this thing's gonna get like covered in dust so freaking fast. So it needs something to protect it. But uh, but I know she'll probably freak out when she sees this. I mean, it's a nice hardware too. That's some pretty nice hardware. I know this is one of the distributed licensed ones, so I'm not sure if this would be exactly the same as like a Japanese one. Because of course, yeah, but trademark Europe. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure on that one. Because I know the American market standards for like how we get stuff here and how the Japanese ones get over there could be a bit different. But I know this is a really classic look for the Monchichis. And then I even think too, I think I even saw Target one time had shirts, just with it was really simple, just with like the face on them or whatever. So like I thought that was pretty cool to see like shirts and stuff like that, like really easily accessible shirts. And I think that was all. There's a few other things I think I saw here and there, but I probably forgot about it already. But yeah, so this was cool. So yeah, Monchichi and a little story for this one. But yeah, really cute, really adorable. Sucks that I can't do the thumb. Yeah, because if it was I think it's the full size ones. Because I mean, you could see the little divot right there, so it could do that, and that was like one of the cool things that they could do. So, so yeah, so that's all I got for this one. So, thanks for watching.